Hey guys, it's Al from Altruistic Channel, and I'm coming to you with a cool little announcement. So I went ahead and published the book last night. It's now available on Amazon, and it's actually called The Arcs to Eden. It's about the collective consciousness ascension. And so I just wanted to put out there how incredibly proud I am of this project. I've written two other books, A Dual Purpose and then A King with No Kingdom, also on Amazon. But I gotta say, of the three, this one felt more in line with my truth and how I kind of view the world. So I just wanted to put that out there, that if you guys really want to get a sense of where my ideas come from, or why I feel so connected to the divine, or why I think the way that I do, this book is probably going to be the best way for you to get a fuller understanding of my personality and where my superconscious is at as far as ascension and logic and science and limitations and non-limitations and imagination and so forth. And the funny part is I did it during Mercury retrograde. And I did it was very interesting. The reason I did it self-published is because I have had this thing about people never helping me with the previous books. And that's not a complaint. It's just something that I learned very quickly. The first book, it hurt my feelings that not one of my friends would help me. But it would be a precursor to what my life would be kind of like during that part of the ascension process. And so it was a quick red flag that was that was presented to me that I ignored, and of course I paid the price for it. But the moral of the story is, so to complete the series, I realized that it was a trilogy, if you will. I didn't know it at the time. The first one was all about the awakening process and the emergence of a spiritual path. The second one is all about actually heading into ascension and the different things about it. And that's a King with No Kingdom. And then this final one, the Arcs to Eden, is all about the creation process and what happens as you start to graduate higher and higher levels of the ascension path. And the interesting part is that I, for a long time, didn't think I had it in me to post anything related to this, because ascension is such a sacred space for every individual, and it's something that's so personal that it's hard to speak to it. But when the divine or the superconscious or your inner subconscious really pushes for something and levels your life, you pretty much have no choice but to put it out there. And so one of the things I'm going to be doing is that I will be posting throughout the week. Like you guys will see, the previous, I think it's 2 videos before this one on my channel, has the first 3 chapters for free. And so that will come down in the next, I say next day, because in place of it, it's going to be chapter 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going to leave that up for a few days, and then it's going to come down, and it'll be 6, 7, 8. And then that'll, you know what I mean? So there'll be a cycle. But if you want to head on over to Amazon, and you can get the Kindle version for $5.99, I believe, or if you're at unlimited, it's free. And then if you want the book paperback, it's $14.99. It's a sacred number that comes out to with the royalties, so it has more to do with just something that I found really, really amusing. But I appreciate all the help. As you guys know, this transition has not been easy on me, and it's tested all of the different parts of the physicality of what I was getting a control of. And so you are not just helping you're not just helping the mission, which is evolving, because the next book that's going to be coming out is going to be something tied into a new video series that's going to be coming out in the next day or so, where I'm going to be introducing you to different people that are very, very important in the near future, and there's going to be a reason why I do it the way that I do it. It's part of a vision that I have. Also, as always, you guys know that I'm also, I'm like a plethora of ideas right now. I'm very, very fertile. It's all that sperm. Anyway, bygones. I'm disgusting. I have no filter, and I really don't. I don't ever stop myself from saying what I want to say. I don't stop anything coming out of my mouth. So you can imagine what happens on the way in. Bleach. Anyway, the moral of the story is, guys, I just also wanted to send a special shout out to all of the wonderful people who have sent me positive energy. I never realized how many people actually quietly observe me and that don't actually say anything. But I had a very interesting moment today. I was walking all over Kingdom Come. I had no money and nothing to do, and I was trying to be very respectful of the people that are letting me stay at their house for the next day or two. And so I was walking around, and somebody actually recognized me from the channel. Now, if you guys know this, I have like maybe 17 subscribers, but I have a lot of views, and so it's always confusing to me. I never understand exactly how that works out. So I know I'm known, but I didn't expect it. And so somebody stopped me, and they go, "I love your channel." And I was like, "What channel?" And they're like, and they said altruistic. And I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." And so I just heard very clearly the divine go, "Yeah, get used to it." As though like I would ever be that egoish, and it just kind of went. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. And so it's like a friendly little banter that some of you may understand when you're ascending. That God is a trickster in some ways. He's very funny. She's very funny. It's very funny. And some days I crack up. Some days I get like it's almost like Laurel and Hardy. Sometimes, or like the Marx Brothers. It's just very very tongue in cheek sometimes, and I get set up. And so very few people can outwit me sometimes as far as like how quick I am. Not in the bedroom. But as far as like actually like work back and forth, um, like angry rabbit sex. I'm like my brain works like angry rabbit sex. Bang 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 bang. And it's usually like poking you inside, and you're just not quite sure what I said, but it's kind of insulting, but at the same time it's really funny. So I'm kind of like I have angry rabbit sex, and so but sometimes that divine will set me up in a way that I can't not say something, and then that makes it that much funnier on that end. Um, but having said that, I just wanted to give a special shout out to all the energies that are trying to help me out. This book is super controversial, and it's very controversial in the sense that I don't filter what I needed to say, and it was very clear to me what my mission was when I was writing this book because of the next evolution of what happens next. This is a trilogy, so this closes out the whole ascension aspect for me. Anything now going forward will be done in like speaker events or like coming to schools and stuff and engaging people in imagination and creation and all of this stuff to push the limits. But having said that, I say some things in this book that's going to trigger a lot of fucking people. And I've had a lot of energy coming at me. I'm not going to get into the negativity behind it, but I've had like black magic and stuff. And the interesting part is that my security got beefed up. I kid you not. All of a sudden, I was walking minding my own business, and my superconscious or my soul or whatever you want to believe literally just goes, yeah, we had to get more guards. And I was like, what? Because it came out of nowhere. I was drinking a Coke. Someone had gave me a Coke, and as I was drinking the Coke, and I was trying to talk to them, I was like, yeah, we had to beef up your security. Like I'm a fucking celebrity. It just made me laugh. So this touches on a lot of things that are a little bit like. Here's the thing: I believe in limitless possibilities, and so people who are limited find this book really, really triggering. And then on top of it, I take a no holds barred look at some very controversial topics that we need to address in society, and I did it in a way that was not lecturing. It was in a way of giving you the example and working all the way through it, so as everybody could follow along where the thought progression was coming from. Because here's the thing, I don't live on a soapbox, and I am not better than anybody else. I'm just giving you my 2 cents, because I believe that in order to truly get Garden of Eden, you have to be honest. And if you can't be honest with the world, then how can you expect the world to join you in trying to get Eden? And so I just was very, very clear on it. So guys, go ahead and head on over to Amazon if you want, and go ahead and check the book out. I really appreciate it. It's going to be helping me out in the spiritual journey. There's a lot more to come. There are TV shows. There's an empire that I have in mind that Divine is kind of orchestrating with me. And it's kind of very interesting because it's like for the first time in my life, I'm very clear that I'm just supposed to be kind of patient. And so it's really hard to do when you're homeless and not eating. I haven't eaten for 2 days. And so it's kind of one of those things where you just kind of, but there's a sense of peace. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a disregard for reality. I mean, I'm very aware of what's going on. And I went and got, like everything's working out. But it's one of those things that you can't explain until you're there. And it's just like an aura, I guess. And so I have a very peaceful aura. And I spent the day literally after, I went to go see a friend who gave me the Coke. And we wanted to hang out. But because I was interviewing for jobs and, trying to do what I'm doing, which is trying to get my ass back on top, I just kept hearing the divine going, you can keep trying. But I'm telling you, there's something big coming. Just be patient. And so I just stopped for a minute. Don't get me wrong, I interviewed like crazy, but I went and sat by the river on the crescent of the moon of the crescent city. And so I just sat there for a minute. I just looked at the river. And as I was doing so, Opal from Opal's Tarot was doing one of the most gorgeous readings for cancers I've ever heard in my life. And it was so synchronized and it was so beautiful that it lent itself to the aspects of the book, which to talk about, whether or not you believe in ascension or whether or not you believe in spirituality. What is it that you're afraid of in allowing other people to believe in that? And so the book touches on like controversial topics to some degree, but it gives all sides. And so everyone can sit there and be like, ha, or whatever low frequency they want to do. But for the higher frequency, it engages the enlightened community in a way that sets us up for Eden, if you will, for the aspects of a better world. And it brings in the age of Aquarius in a very, very diplomatic way, but still in my voice, because I still, there's a difference between being triggered and there's a difference between choosing to respond with aggression. And that's all I'm going to say. So anyway, go check out the book. It's called It's called The Arcs of Eden. I forgot. It's called The Arcs of Eden by me, Al Aravallo. Go ahead and check it out. If you want to, please like, share, subscribe. This channel is really important to me. It's actually becoming something quite incredible. I have a lot of very interesting people that are now privately emailing me and stuff like that, and so, and also subscribers. And so I'm very, very grateful to all of the people, and I'm living in grace. I'm really just thankful for everything. And it confuses the hell out of people, and not that that's my intention, but there's kind of a little bit like, why are you looking at my paper? Aren't you supposed to be doing your own test over there? But at the end of the day, like, share, subscribe. It's really appreciated a lot. And then also, if you want to help me, please, with the whole spiritual path and all the things that are coming down the pike, please go ahead and donate to me, or if you can, Camus, Kahmoos, at MSN. That's the great best way to email me for partnerships, agent representation, or just to help donate a little bit of money to help me eat and help pay for the lodging when this really kicks off. But at the end of the day, I'll be fine no matter what. That's just the grace of God. I'm just doing this as a proactive thing. But if you want to, and if Divine speaks to you that way and you want to, please go ahead and do so. Also, please support the book. It's a very important book to me. It's actually it's a dissertation to me. It's my spiritual dissertation, and I'm very proud of it. And though I'm going to piss a lot of people off, from clergy to the Pope to everybody, it was not the intention. But you cannot look at chaos and restore order, or hope to restore order as a partner to order, or work with the divine if you're not willing to get your feet and your hands dirty a little bit. And so, without getting low vibration, I went ahead and just tackled what I thought. And here's the great thing about opinions: they're just like assholes. And as a gay man, I've eaten my way through a lot of them, and they don't bother me. So don't ever feel like you have to defend me or anything like that, and nor do you have to ever agree with me. But understand that we're being tasked with growing and expanding our horizons beyond what is limiting to what's limitless. And so that's why I wrote the book. So anyway, please go ahead and check it out. It's called The Arcs to Eden, and it's written by Al Aravallo. It's available now on any Amazon Kindle, or $5.99 and $14.99 for the paperback. That's it for me. Thanks, guys. Bye.